This could be the difference.
Yes, sir.
That is way out of here. Nic Ready over the bullpen. Fly, fight, win. 21 for Ready, representing the Air Force Academy.
There is a new king of the swing in college baseball, Nic Ready of the Air Force Academy, who dazzled fans in Omaha with these titanic shots en route to winning the college home run derby. Fresh off his return from Omaha, stopped by the Mountain West Network studio. We've got Nic Ready and Air Force assistant coach Jimmy Rasinger, who was his batting practice pitcher back in Omaha. Nick, congratulations on your big win. You hit a derby record, 55 home runs. Describe the zone you were in hitting those titanic shots.
Oh, I mean, we were really feeling it. You know, Jimmy and I, luckily he threw BP to me all year, and you know, we really meshed together. We can hit some balls out in BP, so you know, we just didn't change anything. Just got in a good rhythm and let the bat do the work.
When did you know that I got a chance to really do something special out here? When did you have that feeling?
Definitely after I made it through the first round. You know, it's a toss-up in the beginning. You never know if your nerves are going to take over or what's going to happen. But when I solidified myself in the second round, I started thinking like, all right, we can go the distance, and things started setting in, getting a little more real for me there.
Jimmy, there's a lot of pressure on you because he's only as good as the feed you're giving him. Number one, how honored were you that you got the call? And two, how much pressure were you feeling as you guys continued to advance and say, we got a chance to win this thing?
So it was unreal. Like I said, usually we text back and forth. He gives me a call, so I knew it was, you know, it had to be something pretty important, you know, and I answer, and he says, hey, you want to throw to me in the college home run derby? And kind of been a dream, kind of joke around about, because I throw a good BP that I've always wanted to do it. And I was like, yeah, let's do this. So it was pretty neat, and to see just all the fans out there, all the kids that were out to see this home run derby. You step out there and you think, hey, just got to remember to breathe here, and throw the first pitch to him, and it doesn't even hit the catcher's glove. I think that kind of shows how nervous I was, and then almost step off the platform on the second pitch. It was a good run, but then you know, just looked at each other, talked to each other, and went on from there.
And Nick, this shouldn't come as any surprise. I mean, you led the Mountain West in home runs last year with 20, but there's always going to be critics out there when you play baseball in Colorado. We see it with the Colorado Rockies that people say it's altitude aided. How satisfying is it that you go to Omaha, where certainly altitude is not a factor, it's got heavy air, and you did that on a national stage? I think it proved a lot of critics wrong.
Oh, it always feels great to prove people wrong. Yeah. And I was glad ESPN mentioned it. Someone told me, you know, I think we only played 17 home games this year, so we had to do a lot of damage on the road. I'm thankful they gave a little shout out to that, but anytime you can really, you know, show that it isn't fake power and you can really do it when it matters, it always is a great feeling.
Jimmy, you've seen him hit all year, and you're a big part of the hitting success at the Air Force Academy, one of the top hitting teams in the country. Did this surprise you, or you knew the moment that he was invited he would have a chance to do this?
No, it didn't surprise me at all. I thought that we were going out there, we had a chance to win it, and then watching it even in the pre-practice rounds, seeing some kids, I said to them, I said, we got a real shot at this. I said, I think the guy from Clemson, Logan Davidson, is going to be probably the competition for us, and it ended up being that way. All the competitors were great, but just watching some of the balls that he was hitting, he even did something pretty special. He jumped over to the left side and took a couple hacks and actually put one out left-handed with one of the ugliest swings left-handed I've seen, which was very impressive as well too.
Well, this bad boy certainly doesn't fit under a seat on an airplane. It doesn't fit in an overhead compartment. You guys walk on a plane. Where does it sit, and what are people saying, Nick?
Well, thankfully, Intersport, the people hosting the event, had it all packed up because they were going to ship it back. And I was like, no, listen, I need to fly with this today. So it was all boxed up and secured. So thankfully, I could just check it right there at the gate, and it made it safe and in one piece.
Well, another man who has one of these trophies is Aaron Judge of Fresno State. Won it back in 2012. To have your name etched in the same sentence on the same sort of trophy and have the same sort of legacy as a guy who's one of the biggest stars in all of baseball right now, it's got to be a great honor.
Oh, it's an honor and a privilege. You know, anytime you can get in good company like that, it feels great. And I'd love to follow in the same footsteps for sure. And if playing pro ball is a possibility, I definitely want to exhaust that. If the Air Force will let me go play, and hopefully they do. But I got to understand my commitment, and I'm ready to take that on, whatever it may be. But it'll be interesting to see what life holds for me in the future.
You did have 3 weeks of leave from the Air Force Academy this summer, and you took advantage of that. Went and played in the Northwest League with Eau Claire. What did you learn by playing with some of the best players in college baseball, albeit an abbreviated period, but a chance to go out there with just baseball? That had to give you a new appreciation of that level as well.
Oh, it's always great to get competition like that. It's great practice. It really helps the mental side of the game when you can really learn how to go through a full routine. It's a little different at Air Force, what we do, but when you can really relax and focus on playing the game, things get a little easier. You can slow the game down a little better, and I think it's definitely helped me become a better player for sure.
Now, Jimmy, focus is usually not a problem for Air Force Academy players, especially when they come out on the field. That's their time to really get dialed in and not worry about all the stresses up on the hill. It's pretty special to work with athletes like that, especially one who great academics, focused, and then also can play baseball like this.
Yes, definitely. I mean, it's just an honor, obviously, to understand that they're serving their country and they're doing amazing things outside of baseball. And I think the greatest thing about Nick and the other cadets on our team is that baseball isn't everything. It's not, hey, we have to talk about baseball 24/7. Do we want to be really good at that? Yes. Do we want to go out and beat people? Yes. But at the end of the day, that's not who Nic Ready is or any of our baseball team.
Nick, you talked about your #1 commitment is serving your country, and you come to the Air Force Academy to do that. You obviously have busy summers. It's not like your standard college athlete. What are your jobs this summer, and what will you be filling your summer with militarily and your commitment to Air Force?
So currently I'm in the Powered Flight program with the 557th Flying Training Squadron down at the airfield. I was actually flying for a week before I went out to Omaha to participate in the Derby. I flew a plane twice. I tried to fly. I tried to kill us, really. The instructor pilot saved us a few times, more than a few, but just got to finish out the Powered Flight program. I'll have probably 5 more flights under my belt within the next couple weeks, and then I'll move on to work on the gun range for our survival students and try to introduce that to them and teach them the best of my abilities.
What are some of those challenges flying an airplane? It's something that most people will never have an opportunity to do. You're training with the best of the best in the world. What are some of those challenges you face when you jump into the cockpit?
Crosswinds are not your friend, especially in a small airplane like that. You get tossed around quite a bit, and 1 minute you're going straight, next thing you know you're getting pushed 20 feet to the left as you're coming in on your final approach, and you really got to have a steady hand. I'm a little jerky in the airplane right now, and I got to smooth things out a little bit, but it's not as easy as it looks. And those simulator games that I used to play in the arcades are way easier. Didn't really give a real perspective.
Well, you make baseball look easy, and you've been playing that all your life. Your dad, Randy, played 13 years in the big leagues with the Brewers, the Padres, the Phillies, the Athletics, and the Expos. How cool was that to have a mentor, someone that you could look up to, ask questions of, and really learn from like that?
Well, I think the best part about it was, unfortunately I wasn't around when he was playing, but when I was 4 years old, he got back into coaching. And growing up in a locker room and being in that environment, growing up is formative in who I am. It's really good to be around baseball at that level, and I definitely think it's helped me have an edge, where I was lucky to, be with some great players over the years and really pick their brains and try to figure out my own style of play from that.
Well, it's been fun watching you in Mountain West baseball. It was really exciting watching you win the College Home Run Derby in Omaha. Congratulations on your trophy.
Thank you so much.
That's Nic Ready and Jimmy Rasinger of the United States Air Force Academy, your 2018 College Home Run Derby champions. Thanks for watching this presentation of the Mountain West Network.